I went from this to this. My name is Michael and I am an artist, and I'm going to share with you some drawing advice. It's helped me and it will help you. I love drawing in pen, pencil, charcoal, oil paint, whatever you could think of. That's me. I love drawing. I just love creating art, and I want you to become a better artist. Like, I went through my journey. There's been years where I just wanted to be like these amazing artists I see on the internet or on social media. And now I'm that guy. Like, I'm that person. I'm that guy, yeah. Well, I am. So let me share with you guys drawing advice that will really help you progress in your art. The reality is, no one is going to save you. For me, that's what I thought for a long time. I thought that somehow big opportunities would just come up, but that's not the case. You want to get better in drawing, so you have to put in the work. Whether you like it or not, you have to take action regardless of how you're feeling in the moment. There were times where I just didn't feel like drawing, and I didn't. Like, I took months off of drawing. Like, I did not want to draw, but that would really hinder me in the long run. So I decided to stay consistent, and consistency is where it's at. That's how you get better, is staying consistent. Artists ask me all the time, how do I stay motivated? I'm not always motivated. Staying consistent and looking at my progress within my art and seeing that my technical skills has elevated, that's really motivated me to keep going. What's the next thing I can do? Can I make this drawing better than the last drawing? Just fall in love with the process. It will reward you. Trust me. No matter what you see in your everyday life, what you're looking at right now, looking at me on the screen, everything are shapes. No matter what it is, it's a shape. Now, it doesn't have to be a perfect circle. It doesn't have to be a perfect square. It doesn't have to be a perfect triangle, but it is a shape. It might not look right, but it's a shape. And shapes make up how we see. It makes up everything. Just like color, just like light. It's everywhere. And that's how I started my portrait drawing. I start off with the shape, and then I map out the outline. Like, I map out the shadows. I map out the highlights. I map out everything I see, and that's why I have a lot of details in my drawing. I want you to be able to look at a person, look at a tree, and break it down into shapes. Does the shadow fall this way? Does the highlight make this weird star looking shape? Whatever it is, break it down into shapes. Train your brain to do this. It will help you in the long run. If you have a hard time analyzing things as shapes, I want you to step back from what you're looking at, squint your eyes very low, and then just map out the broad shapes. And that's how you can get a foundation within your drawing. One thing that gets under my skin is when I see drawings people send me, like, their shading is super harsh and super dark. You need to start off light, okay? I'm gonna just say it, no one else says it. You need to start your portraits off light, or you need to start your drawings off light. What I mean by that is, take your pencil, pen, colored pencil, whatever you're using. I need you to apply light pressure to your paper or to your canvas. Start off light and then layer and build those layers to darken the values. If you're an artist and you don't know much about shading, or you don't think you're at a point where you can teach other people how to shade, work your way up to it. Start off light, build layers, and then darken the values as you go. Every few minutes, take a step back, look at your drawing. Is the shadow the right value? Is this highlighted area the right value? Take time, look at the drawing, analyze it, and continue working. And that leads me to another point. Here's a bonus. When you're using a blending stump, cotton ball, whatever it is to blend your drawing, blend in one direction. Obviously, you can do whatever you want, but this is my advice to you. So I recommend going one direction, like blend lightly instead of going back and forth. The number one rule for me, I don't care if you agree with me or disagree with me, do not blend with your fingers. That's annoying. Do not blend with your fingers. That is messy. You want your work to be clean. This is underrated, but I don't hear many artists talking about this, is focus on one thing. What I mean by that is, no, not just draw one thing, but mainly focus on that one thing. For example, I always like drawing portraits, so I focus on that one thing. I tried many techniques. I tried many mediums. I got to a point where I'm kind of perfecting it, you know? I mean, no one's perfect, but I'm kind of getting there to that point where people look at my art and they just go, wow, like, you did this? Focus on that one thing, and then that'll help you jump into other things. No, I was never amazing at drawing like animals or landscape. But since I've been drawing portraits for so long, I can do it easily. So that's what you have to do. You have to focus on one thing. Now put all your attention to one thing. You still want to learn other things in the process and do other drawings in the process, but focus on one thing. Trust me, it will work. It is what it is. You have to experiment with different techniques, experiment with different tools, mediums. Everything you see in the art store, tell yourself, I'm gonna try that one day, because you never know what you could come across. My sophomore year of high school, I came back from school, sat on the couch, scrolling on Instagram like any other teenager, and I came across this African artist. He drew with a ballpoint pen. And I was in awe, like, I've never seen anyone do this before, so I'm gonna try it. I am here today making these kind of drawings with a ballpoint pen. And that's all because I decided to experiment. You have to experiment. Another thing, when I started drawing with pen, I didn't even have a specific technique I enjoyed doing. I didn't know what I was doing. So I scribbled, drew random lines, and then I started cross hatching. And cross hatching really became the main technique for me to draw these portraits with. And then once I got used to cross hatching, I started hatching a little bit more, because I noticed that hatching makes my portraits have a smoother look to it. And I really like how that looked. And then I moved on to hatching. Now I'm only hatching. And then I found out about scribbling and then stippling. It's all because I decided to just experiment at first. Don't be afraid. You can do anything. Trust me. If I can do it, you can do it. I wasn't born with this gift. Some might argue I was, but I tell myself, like, I'm not born with this gift. This was learned. This was learned through failure, trials, and error. You can do it. I believe in you. If no one's encouraged you to get better and just become a better artist technically, motivate yourself. Give yourself word of affirmations. Every morning, wake up, say, I am a very talented artist. I am very skilled. Believe it. You have to believe it. I did that for myself, and look where I'm at. You can do it. I believe in you. Have fun drawing. I want to come back and say one more thing. I am releasing a guide on how to draw with ballpoint pen. This is something I'm so excited about, and I can't wait to share with all of you guys. I will let you know the release date and everything else, but I just want to put it out there, put it out into the universe. It's almost complete. It's going to have step-by-step instructions of my technique and how I draw with ballpoint pen. You can do it. It's definitely a learned skill. It's not that hard if you have a great teacher. Think about learning another language. Yes, it might seem complicated, but if you have an amazing teacher, you will get there a lot faster. And that's what I want to be for you guys. Thank you for watching.